Hi guys, hello and welcome to another video. So today I'm gonna be showing you how I like to do my eyebrows, either for a daily basis or when I want to do it for a more heavy makeup day. So I'm gonna walk you through it. You will see how easy it is to achieve beautiful brows without needing much. So I'm gonna share with you what are my favorite products to do my eyebrows. So without any further ado, let's get started. I have a lot of pencils like this where, let me just show you one, where on one side you have a little spoolie and on the other tip you have a very thin brow pencil. I really like this kind of product and I keep buying from different brands, always in this style. Of course, sometimes I buy different styles, but usually my go-to is this kind. You can even use some eyeshadow products to do your eyebrows and you can use it with a brush. So again, there is no rules. There is just what's easier for you and what it's more convenient for you. So if your product doesn't have a spoolie on itself, you can always have a little single spoolie. And I also always like to have a flat concealer brush. For those days that I want to do a little bit more heavy makeup, I like to have my brows a little more snatched and more carved out. Okay, so for this video today, I am gonna be using this one. This is from Supershades, Super Slim Brow Pencil. You can use any. You also have to be mindful to choose a good color for your own brows that will match your skin tone and your hair as well. And the last but not least is to have a little gel that will set your eyebrow in place. If you don't have a gel, I recommend you any soap that you have in your house. You just do a little spritz with whatever spray you have. Can even be under the sink a little bit with some water. Then you come with the spoolie. You just go over it, get a little bit of that soap on the spoolie, and you can set your eyebrows in case you don't have a gel. So what I like to do is I like to brush my brows upwards because that's how I set them in place with the gel or with the soap, and I try to maintain it as natural as possible. As you can see, this brow, I have a lot less hairs on this curve right here, so I have to usually define this one a little bit more than that. So the first tip I'll give you on how to do your brows is to find a way that you can, I have a table here, so you just rest your arm, unless you're doing it standing up in front of the mirror or whatever. But if you have a place to just rest your arm, just do it. It's gonna keep your arm and your hand a little bit more stable. And then I'm just gonna guide myself with the camera instead of getting a mirror. So what I like to do is I like to make here, I like to make it look a little bit more full. So I don't have many hairs there. So what I do is I do a line, a straight line like this, as you can see. And then I'm gonna go do little strokes up. Not so many, just a few. Like this. And then I come with all hairs up so I can work on the underneath part of my brows. And then I make one line, you see? So this is the first step that I do. And I'm gonna come with the spoolie and I will brush that line up. I like to rub the spoolie on my skin so I can spread the color a little better. So I'll do that, and then sometimes if I think the line is a bit harsh, I'll come with my finger and make it a little bit more natural. Now, going to the top part of the brow, I like to bring my hair down. This is where you define the actual shape of your brow, how they're gonna look like, if you want them a little bit more arched, if you want a little bit more straight, so it all depends on what you like. I tend to follow my natural line of my brow. Today I don't wanna make it look too thick, so I'll just follow the natural line and show you guys. And again, I also do one line. So this is how it's looking now. I find it easier this way, drawing a line underneath, drawing a line up top, and then I fill it in. I rub the spoolie between the hairs and make everything a little more sparse and more natural. So now what I do is I come with the brush and I will fill it up. So I just do this kind of motion, and then I will come with the spoolie again. And I don't drag it up too much, otherwise it's gonna be all a smudge. So just slowly I start to bring my hair up. Look at the difference. Still looks natural, but a lot more full. Now I'm gonna do this side. Another thing, when you're gonna find yourself the proper pencil, some pencils are a little bit more harsh than others, so the color doesn't come out smoothly. You have to press a little harder, and this is a very sensitive area of your skin, at least mine. It's a little bit more soft. So I don't want to have a pencil that I have to really like press, because it's gonna move my skin around and I'm not gonna be very precise with it. So I always look for pencils that are a little bit more soft, so it's easier to draw without having to drag my skin around, if that makes any sense. So I just make a line here. Like that. I feel this gap right here. Now I push the brow down, so I have room to draw the line on the top. So this is what the brow is looking like right now. Looks terrible. So I'm just gonna start blending with the spoolie. I push it back up. And then I see which parts are still empty and I fill them up. Here is a little harsh, so I just gonna lift my brow here like this a little, and then I end with the harsh line. So right now this brow is looking a little bit more up, so I have to do this one also the same. I have to match them up. I have to confess that I'm not really into arched brows. Here is a little too arched. You can always come with your spoolie and like drag it, and then after you fix it with your concealer, or you can always come with a little cotton bud and remove any excess of the product. Okay, so this is how they are looking like right now. I am gonna use my concealer to carve out my brow so you guys can see what it looks like when it's a little bit more clean. I'm gonna use my Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer, and I'm gonna take my flat brush. Make sure when you pick up a little bit of concealer, you don't take too much and you don't want any excess on your brush. You just want a little bit. And then I'm just gonna blend that concealer a little bit more with my finger. And there we have the brow a little more clean, looks a little bit more professional, a little bit more done, especially if you're gonna do more eyeshadow on your eyes, if you're gonna use more makeup. It's always nice to have your eyebrows a little bit more carved out so they look a little bit more professional, as I just said. And I'm happy with the way this is looking. So I'm gonna set this eyebrow with the gel that I showed you guys. This one is from Intuit. This is actually this is a transparent mascara, but it works like a dream for me to set my eyebrows, and it's not super expensive. Actually, it's really affordable, so it doesn't break the bank. And then I feel the gel, I kind of touch to set them in place and kind of stuck them on my skin. Okay, so now I'm gonna do also the concealer on the other side, and then to finish up, I am gonna set this eyebrow with the soap and show you guys how I like to do it. So we are gonna do the same, just gonna carve out to have a look how this looks without it, and I'll be back in a second with it. Okay, just one more thing. I know that some of you might question if I don't clean up the top part of my brows. It depends. It depends. In this case, I think it's not looking bad. So now I'm gonna use this soap. It smells so good. I'm gonna take my Mario Badescu spray. I'll do one spritz. I'll come with a spoolie. Do a little swirl. Pick up some product here. As you can see, it looks white, but it's gonna be okay on the eyebrows. And I will do the same thing as I did with the gel. I'll brush them up. And there we have it. This is how I like to do my eyebrows. This is how I feel comfortable. This is how I feel they look still natural, but fuller and more done. Especially when I want to do a more heavy based makeup day. I'm very picky with my eyebrows usually, and I don't like to go anywhere without my brows done, especially now during this pandemic that we have to use the mask. I feel that the eyebrows are even more on display than before. So it was already an important thing, and now I feel it's even more. So I've been really I've been giving a little bit more extra love to my brows. And so yeah, so I decided to come here and show you guys how I do my own brows, and it might serve you well as some tips and tricks on how to do yours. So I hope you guys found this video helpful in any way. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.